Exporting several motion files to Cinema 4D and Blender via iClone 7. Good afternoon. Today we will look at converting and exporting iClone 7 motion files to other 3D animation programs. As you can see, we already have a certain scene template in iClone 7. Here we have chosen Assassin as a checker. Let's set the motion files for this checker. To do this, go to the specially prepared folder Movements and select one movement to begin with, copying it from this folder. Paste the copied motion file into the motion folder. In it the custom subsection of the iClone program file. However, you may need administrator rights to add the file. Let's create a separate folder, name it, for example, Assassin, and move our first checked movement file copied there. Now we return to iClone 7 program, open the custom subsection in the motion section, and find our copied motion file. We transfer this motion file by simply dragging the mouse over the checker. We check the movement of the checker by going to the timeline panel at the bottom of the scene. The movement is very short, so let's add a few more movements to this checker. First, let's remove the ladder in the scene. It's superfluous here now. Now let's add the next movement to the checker, finding it in our movements folder. Copy the movement file and paste it into the Assassin folder. We return to the iClone 7 program again and transfer the second checked movement file by simply dragging the mouse from the folder. Go to the timeline panel at the bottom of the scene and check the checker's movement. Then again add the third movement from the movements folder to our Assassin folder. We return to the iClone 7 program again and transfer the second checked movement file by simply dragging the mouse from the folder. Go to the timeline panel at the bottom of the scene and check the checker's movements. And finally, add the first movement from the general folder Movements and transfer it to the checker in the same way. All operations of transferring files of motion are of the same time, and I believe that you won't get confused in them. If you have any questions, you can always write them by email or here in the comments. We have already added 4 movements, but this wasn't enough, and therefore we will add the 5th movement to the checker, the Assassin. Let's take another look at the movement of the checker. If the quality suits you in your case after editing, then move the timeline lever to the end of the checked movements. With us it ends approximately at the 11th second. After that we will combine all 5 checked movements into one and save this file in the custom subsection. Let's rename and name it Beginner. Once saved, the file is ready for export. Export the file by selecting the Export button and the FBX subsection in the pop-up menu of the File section. select the target settings of the export program. First, export the file to Blender. Selected all frames and all texture in the setting. We save our file in a folder of your choice under the name, for example, Beginner Assassin. After waiting for a while, we can switch to the Blender program. Of course, we delete the initial Blender cube and then import the FBX file, finding it in the folder where you put in. After some waiting, our checker will appear on the scene screen. The waiting time depends on the power of your processor. Finally, the checker has appeared, and to improve visibility, let's go into the scene. Select the bone root, just section in the Armature tab, and remove the visibility of the bones that interfere with us. After that, we can go to the timeline and play the movements of the checker on this scene, rotating it along different axes of visibility and checking the movements. For some reason, textures weren't saved, but you can add them yourself from the texture folder. Now we return again to the iClone 7 program and select the export of the FBX file to another animation program. Select Cinema 4D in the export targets, keeping all frames and texture. Save the FBX file with the name Beginner Assassin Cinema 4D. That is why we didn't export in the first time. Check the export settings and export it again. Perhaps this is a program glitch. Export the file and save it in a folder. After some waiting, the FBX file for Cinema 4D is ready. After that, we go to the Cinema 4D program and open the FBX file. As we can see, here again in the bone root section there are bones interfering with us. We make red dots in the view subsection and the visibility has now become normal. After that, we look at the checked movements, which in my opinion are transferred quite accurately, and we can save this file in the folder in which you wish. You can export it to any format through the export settings in the pop-up menu of the file subsection. And you will find another bonus in the description of the video. This is a link to download motion files.